Welcome back to Adventures of a Black Belt Sommelier. We appreciate your joining us today for my little presentation on two truly extraordinary Alsatian wines that I've tasted in the last few days. As I've said several times, sometimes it's good to be the sommelier. We had a party Tuesday night at Four Paws that, uh, strangely enough, kudos to them, selected from our wine list for the white wine to be served for their party, pretty large party, the 2018 Trimbach Riesling Cuvee, Frederic Emile. Don't expect people to automatically default to Alsatian Riesling. Most people, when you say Riesling, assume it's going to be sweet. Of course, this wine is as dry as any wine you could mention. It's also one of the most extraordinary dry Rieslings in the world. Actually, uh, Bruce Sanderson, the writer who covers Alsace for Wine Spectator, quite a few years ago, said that the 2001 Cuvée Frederic Emile was the finest wine ever produced in Alsace, um, which is quite a quite something to say since the Cuvée Frederic Emile isn't Trimbach's best wine. The Clos St. Hune is their best Riesling. But this wine is extraordinary. Trimbach is a 400-year-old family-owned winery, and Anne Trimbach, who's now the director of the winery, is the first female to be in charge in those 400 years. So and they're actually celebrating their 400th anniversary as a family-owned winery this year. Imagine 400 years. Um, she actually told me in a Zoom call I had with her once that she didn't know, this is interesting, she didn't know there was such a thing as the French language until she went to school. She grew up speaking Alsatian. She didn't know about the existence of a language called French until she went to grammar school. It's how kind of isolated and set apart Alsace is from the rest of France. Anyway, this wine is just magical. It's not inexpensive, but it's worth every penny. Um, it's intense. It's very mineral driven, very beautiful balanced acidity, balancing acidity. This is the 2018, so it's 8 years old. I'd say it's just kind of entering its heyday. It's going to be great for a long time if stored well. It's very rich, very concentrated. As I said, intense minerality, intense balanced acidity, beautiful notes of stone fruits like apricots and peaches. At 8 years old, it's starting to develop that petrol character that aged Riesling has. Um, so it kind of smells like that. It's an extraordinary wine. It is a truly extraordinary wine. Um, I had a dinner party Sunday night and I served a different Alsatian Riesling with a dish I make with foie gras and salmon gravlax on brioche, which is a riff on a dish that Eric Ripert makes at Le Bernardin in New York. He does it with ahi tuna that he's pounded out thin on brioche with foie gras. Um, I I I make gravlax. I cure salmon for gravlax and then do my version of that dish. And the Alsatian Riesling I served with that was incredible. So that's an idea of what kind of direction you might go in for a food dish to pair with the 2018 Cuvée Frederic Emile. It's, man, it is a just glorious wine, glorious wine. And then one of my guests Sunday night brought a 500 milliliter bottle of 1999 Zind-Humbrecht Tokay-Pinot Gris Clos Saint-Urbain Sélection de Grand Noble. So Sélection de Grand Noble, if you don't know, or SGN, is the Alsatian equivalent of Trockenbeeren Auslese in Germany. So this is a wine that's made from botrytis grapes, grapes with the noble rot, botrytis, that are picked one berry at a time after they've been shriveled up by the botrytis, which concentrates everything, makes the wine richer and more intense and sweeter and more incredible, more incredible. 27-year-old, 500 milliliter bottle of Tokay-Pinot Gris from Alsace. Of course, it's from Zind-Humbrecht, what I would say is, along with Trimbach, one of the two great wineries in Alsace. And it's from Clos and Urbain, which I would say is the great vineyard in Alsace. But 27 years old, it was absolutely magnificent. And fortunately, uh, just by coincidence, I had planned creme brulee for dessert. There could not have been the more perfect wine to serve with the creme brulee. This was just like, it just tasted like creme brulee. If you want to know what the 1999 Zind-Humbrecht, Tokay-Pinot Gris, Cuvee, Clos Urbain, Selection de Gros Noble tastes like, it tastes like creme brulee. Like really, really excellent creme brulee. The pastry chef from Le Cirque taught me my recipe for creme brulee. So it's about as, I don't know, it's as good as if he made it, but it's pretty close. Um, it was really, really good. And the wine was really amazing. So that's my report on two incredible Alsatian wines enjoyed in a very short period of time. I don't drink that much Alsatian wine, but I drank two in a period of less than a week that were mind-boggling. Mind-boggling. You're not going to be able to find the 1999s in Tokay-Pinot Gris, Alexandre Grenoble, but if you find a younger vintage, they only make great wine. There is no such thing as a wine from Zind-Humbrecht that's going to disappoint you. They are, of course, one of the biodynamic wineries in Alsace, which is, I guess, important. I think it's important. And they make extraordinary wine. They make truly extraordinary wine. Everything they make is extraordinary. And this wine was absolutely sensational. So that's my two wines, the 2018 Trimbach Riesling, Cuvée Frederic Emile, and the 1999 Zind-Humbrecht Tokay-Pinot Gris Clos Urbain Selection de Grenoble. You know, it has to be a great wine to be worth saying all those words to, to describe one wine. 1999 Zind-Humbrecht Tokay-Pinot Gris Clos Urbain Selection de Grenoble. That's a lot of letters and a lot of words, but it's worth it because it's such a magical wine. Thanks for tuning in for Adventures of a Black Belt Sommelier. We appreciate you.